The Harper's Bazaar royal editor claimed Andrew had a confusing ring of protection around him and only had his titles removed because the threat to brand Windsor and the family business had finally forced the institution's hand. However, Mr. Scobie said Harry had been stripped of his titles because he simply wanted to remove his family from an unhealthy environment and was publicly dragged over the coals and stripped of his every achievement and royal privilege before setting one foot out of the country. In an opinion piece for a newspaper, Mr. Scobie said, "For the public watching this saga play out, the ring of protection around Andrew has been confusing, especially when you compare his treatment to Prince Harry, who, love or loathe him, simply wanted to remove his family from an unhealthy environment. There was no sympathetic support behind palace walls for the Duke of Sussex. Instead, he was publicly dragged over the coals and stripped of his every achievement and royal privilege before setting one foot out of the country." In addition, the co-author of Finding Freedom, the unofficial biography of the Sussexes, wrote on Twitter, "Throwback, in May 2002, The Guardian carried a report claiming that Prince Charles privately paid for 2 full-time police protection officers for his then long-term mistress, Camilla Parker Bowles. A palace spokesperson called it a private matter. The story, which dates back to 2002, brought forward the allegation the Prince of Wales was paying for 2 full-time security staff for his consort, then Camilla Parker Bowles, now Duchess of Cornwall. Prince Charles's spokeswoman said, "Whatever the prince is providing is a private matter." Charles and Camilla were not married at the time, so the move fueled speculation about their relationship and sparked scrutiny over the increased protection, although it was done privately and not through the royal protection budget. The kind of protection the Prince of Wales hired was a trusted retired personal protection officer, PPO. The first comments of the possibility Prince Harry might hire a formed Scotland Yard PPO to protect Meghan emerged in 2016. The couple had been dating for around 2 months, and in a statement confirming their relationship, the Duke condemned the abuse and harassment his then-girlfriend was being subjected to. In response to Mr. Scobie's tweet, one Twitter user calling themselves Aunt now wrote, "What's your point? It clearly says security staff, not police. Harry is more than welcome to do the same and pay for security staff exactly like Charles did." Another one, under the name westcoastwoman, said, "It clearly states full-time security staff, not police. Also, Charles is the future monarch. Harry is not." The Duke, who lost his taxpayer-funded police security after stepping back from royal duties in 2020, says his private security team does not have adequate jurisdiction abroad, meaning they cannot replicate the work of police protection in the UK, with their access to local intelligence and legal jurisdiction. While Harry's battle for UK police protection led to some angry criticism of him and Meghan, many members of the public showed their support for the Duke under Mr. Scobie's tweet. Twitter user Annette Kavoki wrote, "This is about punishing Harry for living a successful life in California. They hate he is not struggling. But let them continue. The more they persecute him, the more he is blessed." And Poppy said, "His car was chased at high speed by paparazzi during his last visit to London. Just like his mother. He was not protected." The Duke's latest move follows a security incident in London in July 2021 when his car was chased by photographers as he left a charity event. Royal expert and author Robert Jobson wrote on Twitter, "If Harry wants Scotland Yard protection when he comes to the UK, why doesn't he pay the going rate for a retired SO14 PPOs, police protection officers, like Charles did for Camilla for years before they married? These elite ex-officers know all the protocols and could liaise with active protection officers." While Russell Myers, the Mirror's royal editor, wondered why the prince couldn't pay for his own security like his dad. Appearing on ITV's Lorraine This Morning, he said, "The point was made to me yesterday that when Charles was in a relationship with Camilla and she wasn't necessarily in the royal fold in the early 2000s, he paid privately for her to have her own security, so why can't Harry pay for his own personal private protection officers like Charles did? There is a precedent there, and there's no precedent for this."